you start your story, your biography, if you will, in 597 BCE with the Babylonian captivity, and you end with a reflection on the not-so-benign effects of secular modernity. So that really is...
It's a span.
That's
yes.
vast. That's comprehensive. And, there, as we read the book, we find out fascinating things. When I do fiction, I usually have a list of characters, the dramatis persona, and I just started listing things that shook me along the way. The story of Exodus is not historical. That's the scholarly consensus. What is it?
It's the story of the Exodus doesn't reflect in any way the current events of the region at that time. It is much more reflective of the conditions of the 7th century BCE, which is when this was written. This is a mythos. This crossing of the Red Sea, for example. Mm-hmm. Scholars have tried to show how historical this is by pointing out the prevalence of flash flooding in the region and how the flood could have come down and clogged up the Egyptians and then they all drowned. But in fact, the story has been written up deliberately as a myth. The Middle East and ancient Middle East was full of stories of gods who split a sea in two to create something new, to bring something new into the world. But in this case, it's not a cosmos that's being brought into the world from the splitting of the sea, but a people. And this strange freak of nature would mean nothing had not the Jewish people revivified this year after year in the Seder. And brought it away from the mists of antiquity into their lives here and now. It's a paradigm about how you understand the world and how you should live, looking for liberation, I think. During the Seder, Jews are told each one of you must regard himself as though he were part of the generation that came from Egypt, making this distant event a timeless reality. And that's what we mean by myth. A myth is not something that isn't true, as it is said in popular parlance. It's something that in some sense happened once, but which also happens all the time, which is made a living presence in the lives of the faithful who live generations, even centuries, millennia after the original occurrence.